2 months now since Charlie Kirk was assassinated at UVU. And not once has Erika Kirk put any sort of brakes on what Candace Owens is doing in investigating. Now, Candace has said, all she has to do is say the word and I will stop. But Erika has not said the word. And I think that that's very important and we've been ignoring it. Before we get into that, if you could do me a favor and just hit that like button. Between that and just including a comment at the bottom of this video, that's really all you need to do to help any creator. I respond to just about all of my comments because I really am interested to know what you think about the topic. So let's get into this. Candace finally felt the need the other day to comment about the fact that people have been asking her to comment about Erika Kirk and some of her more questionable behaviors. Now, one thing that she said, I mean, it really kind of struck me, and I think it's worth pointing out.
I feel like Erika is kind of sending a message here that she's not standing against the people that are telling the truth. I said early on, if Erika Kirk asks me to be quiet, I will be quiet. She didn't ask me to be quiet. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do. A show on whether I like her hair, her outfits, that doesn't feel right. And also keep in mind, that is the mother of Charlie Kirk's children. I had a real relationship with Charlie Kirk, a real friendship with Charlie Kirk. And what is left of him in this world are his two small children. So to just take a baseless attack, if I catch her in a lie, it's a little different. But to just take an attack on her does not feel appropriate to me. I haven't seen any reason to do that.
Now, something about that last little bit really hit me. That at this point, Erika is a link to all that is left of Charlie for Candace. And it putting all these pieces together, it got me to start thinking about just what role Charlie would have expected Erika to take should the worst happen to him. And what do I mean by that? Well, we have already seen the text messages between Charlie and Candace, in which Charlie said, apparently years ago, although she never really did say what the date was on those, but the idea that he might not live to see the end of the movement. He may not live to see the fruition of all the work that he had done. And if, in fact, he didn't survive it, he wanted Candace to be his David. He wanted her to be his champion, and he knew she would fight to make sure that the truth was found out. He would make sure that his kids were safe, that his wife was safe. She would be his David. Now, if this was years ago that he was sending these messages to Candace, if they were having this discussion years ago, how much more discussion would Charlie be having if he continued to feel that his life was in danger? Now, if you want to tell me that you think Erika Kirk is acting oddly in light of everything that has happened, I would agree. I think that her sudden repeated inclusion, I mean, I was just watching TV. She was at someone's ambassadorial confirmation in DC. Why is she there? Who's watching the kids? All of that seems very odd to me. And, you know, the photos at the casket, I mean, all of it. I would be the first to say that I agree. Her behavior has been undeniably odd. But I want to listen to something that she said in her interview with Jesse Waters.
You feel safe?
What are they going to threaten me with? Going to heaven sooner to be with my husband? I'm not afraid. Charlie wasn't afraid either. We never lived in fear. If we did, we wouldn't get anything done.
Now, her answer there is very interesting. She said, what does she have to be afraid of? You know, what? They're going to hurt her, and then she's going to join her husband. Well, if you are the mother of a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old whose husband has just been assassinated, you aren't worried about whether or not they are going to hurt you for your sake. You are worried that they are going to hurt you, and your children who just recently lost their father are now going to lose their mother. Right? I mean, that would be my concern. My concern would be all about, I want to protect myself for my kids' sake, because I don't want them to have to go through this even more. I want to make sure they're taken care of. And since my husband is no longer here, it has to be me. I'm the only one left. I'm the last line of defense. And so she should be afraid for their sake. But notice she never mentioned the kids. Now, again, it's odd behavior. I mean, me personally, I can't even explain these ridiculous leather pants. But there has to be something, there has to be an explanation for all of it. One explanation could be that she didn't care at all about her husband. She is involved in whatever is going on, or she is such a narcissist that no matter what is going on, she doesn't care. That's one possibility. But I am going to go through the potential for there to be a second possibility. And it all starts with one of the statements that Candace made about Charlie Kirk's feelings. And let's listen to that now.
I want to say one more thing rather explosively. 3 people told me off record. 2 people who have this in a written communication from Charlie. One who is a Turning Point USA donor, and I would say very much one of the white knights in this. The very day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed. He told these people, I think they're going to kill me. Okay. He did not express that to me. So I am telling you this based off the testimony of 3 people. And I am saying this because I hope that these people who I think are good will be inspired to come forward with that. Now, again, those conversations I had were off record. I honor that. If I say it's off record, it stays off record. But I'm hoping that watching what I am doing and feeling the energy that is rising across the world for people who want to know what the heck happened on 9/10, that, you know, they will be brave and they will say, yeah, Charlie did the day before he died think that he was going to be killed, and maybe tell us, who is they? Well, for once and for all, who is they? Who is the they that he thought were going to kill him?
Candace makes it very clear. She has 3 people who told her that Charlie told them that he was afraid for his life. 2 people have it in writing, which means Charlie told them in writing. What about the third person? Well, the third person, if they don't have it in writing, that means Charlie told them verbally. What if that third person is Erika? I mean, it's obviously, right? Obviously, if this was Charlie's fear, he would have told Erika. We have no evidence whatsoever that there was any sort of problem between them prior to this event. We know that Erika is out trying to find a priest in order to eliminate witches' hexes. So obviously she was concerned, and obviously they were talking about this together. Now, the only question I have is whether or not Erika is one of the 3 people that then shared that information with Candace. Because if Charlie and Erika were talking about it, wouldn't Charlie and Erika have had a plan in place so that if the worst case happened, Erika had a game plan? Erika had a strategy. I think that they would have. And if they had a strategy, would it not involve his David? I mean, he may have asked her years ago to be his David. Based on the relationship we've seen just from their text messages, I don't think her answer would have changed. Her answer was yes then, her answer would be yes now. And clearly it is, because that's what she's doing. So if Charlie was afraid for his life and was afraid that there were people that Erika could not trust, would he not say the person you can trust is Candace? If anything happens to me, go to her. What if that plan is play along? Play along, act like the perfect TPUSA future CEO, but feed Candace what she needs to find out the truth. So that not only are the kids safe, but Erika's safe, and Erika's safe for the kids. Because that's what I would see. Again, that would be my first concern. Protecting myself for the sake of the kids. I think there are some hints in some of the information that Candace is sharing. let's listen to one of the episodes where Candace tells us some very top secret information.
Charlie's neck indeed did stop the bullet without question. Okay. And this is going to dispel a lot of theories that are out there. And I'm telling you this 100%. Charlie Kirk was shot from the front and the bullet did not exit. And at least a fragment of the bullet was recovered from his neck. And I'm going to tell you exactly where it was recovered from. I have fact-checked this information from multiple sources now. I've actually been sitting on this for a little bit over a week. Right around here. So think about almost in line with your shoulder blade right in the center.
So that right there, that little bit of information, that is highly secret information. The only people that would have that information from the autopsy report is going to be Charlie's wife, possibly Charlie's parents, or the medical examiner who actually did it, or potentially the person investigating. Well, I think we can knock out the medical examiner and the person who is investigating. Clearly, neither of them are going to share that information. Charlie's parents, that's iffy if they would know. They aren't his next of kin. His wife is. So really, the person who controls that information would be Erika. She would be the only person who could give Candace that information. And whoever Candace's source is at TPUSA, don't you think they're trying to close that leak? It has to be someone who is either beyond suspicion or someone they can't stop from sharing or getting information. The only person that the TPUSA people wouldn't be able to stop from getting that information would be Erika. I mean, I know what you're going to say. I know that there is the possibility that Erika, her unusual behavior is more authentic. It's her authentic odd behavior because she doesn't care or whatever. But what if that is all an act to keep her from being in danger? I mean, maybe it's just wishful thinking on my part, but this doesn't seem to me to be a man who was worried that evil forces were going to try and harm him. In that situation, with that forewarning, he wouldn't make sure that his wife and kids were taken care of. That's just the impression that I get from Charlie Kirk and all that we know about him. I mean, put him on whatever political side you want. He obviously cared and loved his wife and kids. And so he's going to make sure that if that worst happens, they are taken care of. And we already know that Candace was his backup plan. Candace was his ace up his sleeve. So these are just my thoughts. It came to me and I really just wanted to share it. But mostly, I really want to hear what you think. Do you think this sounds crazy? So hit the like, leave a comment with your thoughts. If you liked this video, go back and check some of my other ones. YouTube hates me. So I'm sure there are a lot there that nobody has ever seen. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a great day.